Occasionally, Anthori would ask you like medical questions, not expecting you to answer. Just like, it's easier to say things out loud. I imagine just like, meh.
Can I actually make a roll to see if Krax gets any of these answers right? Because he's
Sure.
going to answer back. What role would that be?
He's like, no,
First
no.
Medical intelligence. Oh God.
Yeah, first aid.
First aid intelligence.
First aid intelligence. Yeah.
No. It's like, yeah.
It's like, where do you think the best place to place this drip is? Like, the butt. I'm like, I don't believe that's how humans work.
Krogans get all their medical knowledge from just shooting things.
Exactly.
Oh,
It's like,
They just poke at things and like, oh, this limb looks
I
interesting.
know, but a human's blood is red.
no, it's like if you ask him where to place the drip, and he's like, they're not supposed to drip, right?
Here's the thing,
Put a
Krogan
bandage
would
on
probably like uncannily know how much blood someone contains. It's just nothing
Probably.
but that.
And then,
Oh.
It's like
she'll
you ask
keep it
him,
fine.
it's like, hey, this guy's like malnutrition. It's like, how do you treat malnutrition? Give them more food.
Give
No.
them
It's like
bullets.
the worst
Shower.
line.
It's actually a Krogan response. If a Krogan is dying of starvation and thirst and he comes across food and water, he just eats it. It's like, oh, food. Nom, 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 nom. Whereas, like, for them, that would, like, kill them.
rock. Nom, nom,
Yeah,
nom,
it would kill humans
Yeah.
who are starving. But
Yeah. So anyways, now you, so that's going on. Cattle, you make your way through and down into Ansbury, down to Winnie. But before you get there, we're going to finish this conversation. He says, why were you here?
I was hired to be.
Okay.
Mhm.
Did you arrive before or after the Alliance did?
Before.
And what were you doing on that vessel? What were you hired to do?
I was hired. Well, no, I like to make things. I was hired to break something in this case. I didn't though, because it happened. The life support went down as I came on. So.
Yeah, no, I understand. I
Well, it
believe
wasn't-
I
didn't
believe
do
you're
it.
telling the truth with that.
Mhm.
You were hired by who?
Don't think I can say.
You most certainly can say. If
I
you
don't know about
choose
that.
not to, that's your decision.
I don't know the ramifications of me giving away the name of this organization, Scott, out of game.
Probably not good.
Probably not good. Yeah. I will if I have to. But I'd really rather not.
And as
That's
you're
what
saying,
I'll say to him.
as you're saying, I really rather not. Cattle will come kind of like walking in and literally hear
Oh, I'd
the
be leaning
words.
back. And they're talking about sensitive things. I can tell that at a glance.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
be
yeah.
hanging back. at
I
the
would
door.
imagine
you
you
listen
definitely
at the
hear
door.
hear the phrase "rather not" as exactly what you would hear as you come in. And he's like, "Well, then I guess you and I are going to have to make the decision whether or not you're going to be saying these things in the future. As for now, can I trust you?"
Well, I would hope so. I am like elbow deep in your engine right now, so
That's why I'm asking the question. The lieutenant told me that you've been nothing but an aide since he came across you, but that doesn't change the fact that you got to the ship before he did, and that ship was not doing well. I understand that your crew is not doing well either, but that doesn't change the fact that that could have been you guys that did it.
that's a really good point. But it wasn't. So
You totally gotta believe us. Look how nice I am.
right?
I'll send Answeri down, but as I said, just I am watching you.
Don't worry, I'm gonna fix this.
Mm-hmm.
That clicking sound is terrible.
And he turns to like leave, and then he turns back and says, "They're starving. You're not.
Yeah.
Why?"
At that point, Cattle would like walk in instead of just hanging back.
Yeah, she's like surprised at that. She kind of like, they can't. I mean, they're welcome to eat my food. Don't get me wrong.
They can't eat it. Their digestive system would not react well to that.
He looks at Cattle as like, "You mean like Taurians?"
Yes,
Exactly
pretty
like
much.
Torian.
Ah. You have a similar diet to that of Taurians.
Yeah. I can eat their food if it's prepared properly.
Interesting. Very fortunate for you, I guess. And then he gets off of where he was leaning against the wall to have the conversation, and walks away. Eventually, he makes his way upstairs and tells Entourage, "Could you head downstairs and lend her a hand when you're done? But you're working on things right now, anyways." And so Cattle and Winnie are left behind.
I really like him.
Cattle just stands there for like half a second and then just goes, Winnie Jun or Tara, was it?
Oh shit, I don't know. Hold on.
Tenna.
I have
don't
it
think
written
it's Winnie or
on the
anything.
screen.
Tenna. It's Tenna.
Yeah.
Winnie Nar, Winnie Jun Nar Tara. Tenna.
What brings you to this corner of space?
I was hired. Oh, I didn't get your message until after I had already left, sadly. But
Regrettable.
yeah,
So then
but
what
we're here
brings...
anyways.
Or
And
is
I'll-
that you'd rather not discuss in the open?
Yeah, she'll just kind of like turn back to the engineering work. It's like I was hired. I was hired to. What was I hired to do, Scott? To something with the engine.
Yep. Well, no, it wasn't the engine specifically. It was there was some bit of data or something on that ship that you wanted to. They wanted.
Right, but I wasn't hired for that initially. Like there was another reason for me being there. You told me, I just don't remember what it was.
Hold on. Wait.
Anyway, yeah, no, I was hired.
I'll look at the Skype, but I'm pretty sure that's all I said. So you guys continue the conversation.
I see. How interesting. Would it happen to have anything to do with the vessel that was first on the scene, the scientific one?
Ah, there you go. It was quote to help dismantle their engines or something. They were a little vague on what it was that you were supposed to be doing there. You were just specifically told that there is a what's the word I'm looking for? An Alliance vessel stranded in space and there for clean picking.
Well, it doesn't really matter because I didn't get to do my job. So
I suppose that's fair enough.
The hell? Sorry, you guys
And,
keep
like,
talking. I have to try to.
she's
fix
just kind of
something
humming to
quickly.
herself and fiddling with the engine still.
We're still here. Just ignore this for a second while I'm trying to fix something. Just talking to the viewers. You guys continue with your chat because this is being.
Yeah,
weird.
well, I'm trying, but you keep interrupting every 5 seconds.
My apologies.
So you have no idea what happened then?
Nope, can't tell. I'd have to get the hardware booted up for me to figure that out, but I
Well,
haven't been able to do that.
I'm planning to go over to the scientific ship at some point. I'd like it if you tag along with me. I could use your expertise in your field.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Good. That's all that sorted then. Hope the rations are your liking.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, they're great. Oh, how was it your gun that I modded?
Shield.
Shield? How's the shield? Let me look at it. And
It's-
I'll like push aside all the other stuff I'm working on.
Yeah, I'd probably point you to like a minor thing that's like, this is not quite working as expected, but otherwise I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, and I'll probably fix that
Sweet.
because I can easily maintain that. And there you go.
You know what I imagine this specialization is? I mean, I assume it's like just the standard +1, right?
Yeah, shit +1 AC.
What I imagine it is actually is, you've hidden the whole shielding apparatus because he's meant to just look very casual.
Mhm.
It's like it's hidden under all this stuff, so it's more efficient because you can just make it better while you're in there. I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be a waste not to, but made it nice and hidden for weird, casual, sneaky Solarian, hide in plain sight Assassino over there.
So you guys finish your conversation or whatever, and eventually Entourage comes down and can officially introduce herself to Winnie. Winnie, at this point in time, you've actually been able to find what was wrong with the ship, and it was literally the fact that one of the containment areas that was kind of like opened up and worked on beforehand was never properly closed. So it's like, if there were like 6 bolts holding it in there, like 2 of the bolts were put back in to like quickly put it, but the other 4 bolts are sitting
Sounds
out.
like my computer.
So it's like kind of like rattling inside. It was literally just like a very simple hardware
That's
issue.
literally what my old computer had.
Which makes sense that Antwerry was probably the one that did that.
I actually
because-
never physically touched the engines. I only dealt with the virtual intelligences.
Yeah, you just boop the VI for a while.
Excuse me. Yeah, like I'd go in there and see that you're basically becoming the engineer and be like, oh, have you tried talking to their AI, virtual intelligence? It is
Yeah.
the humans built it in such a strange way. It doesn't understand tone or context or even metaphor. It's entirely based on keywords and not even phrases, just keywords and numbers trigger it. It's very human.
Oh, that's annoying. You probably can only do one thing at a time then.
Yeah, one thing slowly. I find no reason to it, but it's a pleasant enough woman when you get to know her. And then she probably goes and looks and is like, "Oh, you fixed that noise. Can you fix the air?" Oh, you probably can't. Don't notice the air.
No, filters.
It's
What's wrong with the air?
It's terrible.
It smells fine.
Yeah.
Cattle, do you agree? Yes.
Yes, the Krogan's just too used to Tachanka at this point. It's their own fault, really.
So
Maybe if we do this, yeah.
I mean, I
Good
could look at the filtration system if you want.
I believe the filtration system works adequately. Just, well, not to my liking.
It works
Obvious.
for humans.
There's no grace.
Oh.
There's
it
no
doesn't
grace.
cater to our little.
By the way, Crax is gonna start saying that more often.
Oh, my name is Entree, by the way.
Okay. And I'll shake your hand and go, Winnie Jean.
She'll note it and then just go back to fiddling with things. She doesn't like ask why you're here or anything like that.
Yeah. I'll just continue working on what I'm doing and fixing the stupid little bolts. Like, that noise was so annoying.
At some point,
That's it.
I would actually get on comms with Sparky and be like, "So we've picked up your friends. We're still docked to a bunch of ships, with the possibility of someone sneaking up on us while we're out here and vulnerable. Shouldn't we go and
fix
investigate the other ship now? Get
Yeah.
out of here before we sit here too long as a sitting duck."
Absolutely. I just can't exactly leave Alliance members of the Alliance as sitting ducks in their own little vessel and starving. They are taken care of. I agree with you. We should get going. I don't know if we can bring any of them with us. And when he says this, he's actually standing next to the other person, and the other person hops onto the comm as well and says, "Negative. We can come with you. We're here to investigate this as well. This was our job first. We can come with you." And then somebody else hops on the comm and says, "Because we don't want to, let them crawling around the inside of an Alliance vessel unchecked. We know it needs to be checked. Your tongue. Keep it in your mouth." And
At this point, Cattle
person
would
crumbles.
go on and chime in again and be like, "There could be hostiles on board for all we know. After all, someone might have snuck up. They might have left. It wouldn't be beneficial to us to have weakened people with us. No offense, but clearly you are in no state to join us if we are going to go search their vessel. It would be better for you if you just stayed here, enjoyed the comforts of our beds, the medicine, treat you. You're more useful to the Alliance alive, after all."
He says, well, listen, I appreciate what you're trying to say there, and I will offer for my crew, anybody that wants to stay behind is welcome to stay behind and rest themselves up. But that doesn't change the fact that you have a major task in front of you, a task that has killed 3 vessels worth of crew, if we can call that third one a crew. Sorry, Winnie. Out of game, sorry, Winnie, not in game. 3 vessels worth of crew. We need to investigate what's going on here. And if that means our lives, then it means our lives. But hopefully we'll have answers for the next Alliance vessel that comes through here, so we don't lose more good men and women that are just trying to serve the Alliance.
The good news for you is that those ships were surprised. We are not.
Which is why it is that we need to complete this task now.
Let's go for it.
He will then actually say specifically to, he's like, excuse me if I'm saying this wrong. Is it Antuary?
Onto. And then I would go back up.
Yep.
I probably wasn't paying attention to their conversation.
Sure. And so he, when you finally come back up there, he looks to you and he's like, "Do you have stims?" And he says this kind of like quietly to you. "Do you have stims?"
I assume I have something basic in the med kit. But I have no like actual drug stims.
You don't have any.
This is out of character. I don't know if I do.
You don't.
No, then I straight up just like no.
You don't have any.
If you're inferring what you're inferring, all of your crew will be resting for at least 4 hours. Leaving the bed before then would be not recommended. And I've been told that my matronly bedside manner gets somewhat aggressive if someone decides to go against my directions.
Listen, you have been a wonderful aid to myself and my crew, and I appreciate everything you've done thus far. However, what it is that they're going to do is going to be between myself and them. Your advice is noted, and I will keep it in mind. That being said, you don't have any stims. And kind of like listening in, Clark says, "I have a couple of tsunami." And he like, his eyebrows raise, and he looks over and he's like, "You do?" "Yeah, but, you know, it was kind of if we need them." And he's like, "We might." And
Would this be like on comms?
no,
or-
this is them all standing around.
Do I
but
know what tsunami is?
Do me a favor, roll for me either a lore or a medicine intelligence check, your call.
Medicine, please. Oh, I should have asked for wisdom. I did intelligence though. I already did the roll. I guess I don't. Soz.
Yeah, so tsunami is like a natural phenomenon. It happens sometimes. Aside from that,
Well,
you
you know, Asari live on garden worlds. We know what a tsunami is. We developed technology to stop them from occurring ages ago. Bad for the environment, great for the beaches.
So actually, you would just know that tsunami is a type of drug that is used by some militaries. It was, and you would know that it was originally actually created by the, because it's, I mean, yeah, I can't even give you much more than that. You would just know it's a drug that's used by some militaries. That's all you would
Created
know.
by the Solarians, because they're the only race that begins with S.
It's actually, so fun lore thing, created by the Solarians, well, at least in my world, created by the Solarians specifically for Krogan soldiers.
Ha, that's cool. I would
second biggest mistake.
I would like stand up and step away and it's like, just like if soldiers are going to be soldiers, and mutter something like under my breath as I'm leaving about men and not understanding them, and leave, and then probably like see cracks like, and just be like, and go back down to engineering.
I love that that's his impersonation of you. All right.
That's
so,
a good description of him, though.
So with that, he does speak to his men, and he himself is going to go. The person that has refused any medical treatment whatsoever and has actually nibbled on some food and drank some water, just straight up drank water and nibbled on food, and hates the aliens, he's going to go, as well as one other. Can you imagine who's not going on the mission?
The pilot guy.
No, I can't go.
I bet he was scared of putting the needle in, the little bitch.
Funny thing is, because I know Cattle is not going to go as well, he's going to stay behind on the ship and keep an eye on things, or at least I'm assuming.
Well, I'm kind of tempted to go with them to like investigate the scientific vessel
Yeah, you said you
with
would
Winnie.
earlier.
It is all up to you.
Krax is actually maybe going to talk to the guy who's complaining, by the way.
Sure.
Oh,
So as everybody's, like,
he's
suited
gonna
up
get a
and ready
Krogan
to go.
pep dog.
So before you go talk to him, Clark is going to come over to Cattle and be like, Cattle, are you going to stay here or are you coming with?
I'd like to investigate the scientific vessel to see if they had the same type of phenomenon and to see if there's anything left in their data systems that might be of assistance to us.
Very well. If you're going with, then perhaps I should stay behind here. I'm not going to be very good with that anyways. The original crew that was supposed to investigate is going. And once again, listening on the conversation, the other lieutenant says, the doctor did say perhaps it's better if some of us stay here. Perhaps you should actually go, and I will stay and look over this vessel. And he kind of like pokes his head around and looks into the cockpit area, and he's like, it doesn't look like it's going to be very difficult to handle. You know, the two of them kind of like chuckle at that for a second at this being a ship box, which is funny because again, in Cattle's eyes, all of these look like ship boxes, and so it's agreed that Clark will go with you guys, and actually this lieutenant is going to stay behind. The other two Alliance people will go with you as well. Cattle, please, you were going to say something.
No, I think that's pretty good. Like, we've got one decent human with us, two drug humans. We've got Winnie. We've got. I assume Crax is coming with us.
Humans.
Drug humans. So they agree. So everybody kind of like agrees to it, and then you guys start getting yourselves ready, making sure that your suits have been correctly refiltered in with more air. And you're heading down below to go cross the bridge again. Aaron, I imagine you're going as well. They need you. Okay. And Crax, you do your conversation.
Yeah, so is the guy like just sitting down or laying down or whatever?
Lying down. Yes.
He's in Cattle's bed.
Oh fuck.
So, oh man,
gonna be stains in
how would Crax
there.
approach this? Because I know what he would do. I'm just thinking of like how he would start the conversation. So I think he would like lean heavily against the wall and be like, "Shepard, works." No, he'd just be like, "So, you know, old ships like this, they say they're haunted, like, and the spirits, they go after the weakest. Well, have fun." Just like walks off.
You know what? That's Frank. I need you to roll for.
I need to roll for that.
Oh, I know. I want, because it's an intimidation thing, right? I want you to roll for me a talk strength check, but I'm gonna give you a +1 because of situation, and I think +1 because he's such a wimp. So
fucking good.
Oh God.
You know what you just done? You just made the whiny person tag along for the mission.
Yep.
So you say that, and you guys are getting ready and suiting up. And actually, as you go down the stairs, as soon as you get down the stairs, immediately at the bottom of the stairs is Clark, and he's actually, Crax, can I borrow you for a minute?
I mean, you hired me. It's more. Wait, did you? I'm only getting paid for a minute.
Crax, back upstairs. And
Okay.
and you guys go back upstairs, and he actually, as you guys go back upstairs, you see that the soldier's like very hastily putting on his equipment and whatnot, and like rips out the IV, and he's like, ah! And rips out the IV, and he's like getting himself ready, and he's like, and Clark looks at him and getting ready quickly. He's like, change of heart. Yeah, I'm coming. Yep. And
You know, the spirits look for strong hearts.
Clark kind of looks at
Stupid fuck.
Crax like with a raised eyebrow, like what the fuck's going on, but genuinely doesn't care that much. And so he immediately goes into Crax's bedroom
Okay.
and it calls Crax in, like, Crax. And
Yeah, no, Crax follows him.
when you go in there, he kind of like looks around the room in the disarray that it's in because you've made yourself comfortable.
Yeah. He's
And
probably
he's-
like using one of the crates as a pillow.
So he actually, the crate you're using as a pillow, I'll say, is like all cracked
Ammunition.
and broken and whatnot. And he's like,
It was like that with the guy here.
yeah, I'm sure. We need what's in that crate to come with us. Problem is, no other crates will fit that as well. Damn. And he goes and he like goes off to the side and gets some big length of material, and he uses that to like wrap the crate up in, so you guys can try to like carry the crate like almost like a bassinet inside this material that he's referring to. And he's like,
Like a swaddle.
like a swaddle, exactly. And he's like, can you handle this? And actually, it's small enough, even though it's awkward, it's small enough that Crax can actually grab it with his T-Rex arms. The problem is, it's very heavy. It's very dense material. It's clearly something that, like, There's no way that Clark's not a weak person. Like, as far as humans come, he actually seems pretty well built. But yeah.
I think we found where the humans keep all their grace.
Yeah. But it was why Krax was hired on, as he's heavy lifting.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So eventually you guys bring that stuff down to the area so you can kind of like bring yourself across. Now, just to confirm who is going back across now, it is everybody except for the lieutenant that was there beforehand. The only one that still has an IV connected to his arms and is taking 100% of the advice from Entourage. And it was literally one of those things where he's like, I'm going to be last before my crew, and da-da-da. And then literally he's like, crew, only those that are choosing to go, and everybody chooses to go, and then he ends up getting left behind. And it's like one of those, like...
Wait, what about the racist one?
Oh, no, he's going. He's keeping an eye on me.
He's definitely going. He's going to be keeping an eye on me.
Yeah, of course.
Like, Krax should have been
He's going to be keeping an eye on
suspicious.
4 of us.
So,
But he only has 2 eyes, so we're good.
So, as he calls, open door 1, you guys go out there. You go into the tube. It's now even tighter fit with this crate thing that you guys have. Close door 1. That leak is happening. Do me a favor, Aaron, electronics intelligence check, because your suit is far better than their suits.
Oh, I can fix that. 5 minutes later. Come on, move already. You're holding
I
up
was
the queue.
expecting that's going to be like one of the first things she does when she like optimizes the engines. Just fix the bloody sky bridge. And I like this sort of sky bridge, by the way.
And so you so when you are inside there and just kind of like looking at the pressure, you're like, this is dropping pressure at a greater rate than before. Not that much more, like already this is scary shit, but not like that much more alarming where you're like, holy crap, we have to do this now. But it's definitely whatever tear or whatever it is in there, or however many there are, they're getting larger. No question about that.
Yeah. So this is getting worse. This is gonna break. Not now, but like it needs to be fixed.
You say that to the crew and Clark.
I guess it's getting worse.
Clark says, noted. Hopefully we don't need this for much longer. And open door number 2. And the door opens up. You guys are able to drop into the area back onto the Alliance military vessel and start making your way moving along. But we're going to take our second break. We'll see everybody in about 5 minutes.
Cliffhanger.
So please go get a drink, relax, pee, do what you do. I'll be back.
Space hanger.